studio. This is the first in a series of how-to, all things fusing type videos that we're going to be doing, and today we're going to talk about using fusible decals. We've been making fusible decals for about 15 years now, and we have them in three different colors. Two precious metal decals are platinum, which is the silver color, and gold, which is real gold, and we also have them in a black enamel. These decals will work on any type of smooth glass surface, whether it be 90 COE, 96 COE, float glass, Moretti, even Pyrex they'll work on. So we're going to be talking about how to use these and making glass jewelry, and how to put them on cabochons and have them turn out beautifully. So we've got three projects. Let's get started. We're going to do three projects today. The first one is going to be a white cabochon. But first I thought we would talk about the tools that we're going to need, and these will apply to all of the projects we're going to do, all three. First, you need a bowl of distilled water. It's important to have distilled water so you don't leave any deposits along the edge of the decal, which will show up on your glass. Secondly, a good pair of small scissors where you can do some intricate cutting, a pair of tweezers, some paper towels, this is a lint-free rag, and some alcohol to clean your glass. Also, I like to use powderless latex gloves as well, and for many of us, glasses. To begin the project, let's first look how we made the cabochon. It's a three-piece, white on the bottom, then we put the dichro, pattern dichro side down. This is called hearts with swirls. All of our projects are going to have dichroic glass in them because guess what? That's what else we do. We pattern dichroic glass as well as make decals. So we kind of use them in conjunction with one another. And the clear piece on top, these are fused together 1425 for 10 minutes, and you'll come up with something like this. I like using white glass with dichro because you can get the transmitted as well as the reflected color, and well, it's kind of cool. So let's begin. First, you get the decal sheet. You'll notice that it has a wax paper over the top of it. That's to protect it, and once you start using these, it's to keep the decals from sticking to one another, because if the face of this one touches that and sits down on it, it will stick. The top coat that goes on these is very, very sticky. So this is the project that we're doing right here. So we'll cut this decal out. I like to leave the wax paper on it, just so when I'm done cutting this out, it will fold back onto the other decals and protect them. So here we have the decal that we're going to use. I like to trim them pretty close to the actual image itself, and that becomes more important as we get into the precious metal decals. So you just slip that into the water. In about 30 seconds, that decal is going to slide right off of there. Okay, while this is soaking, you can come over and clean your glass. This is alcohol in a spray bottle. And I take this and I take my lint-free cloth and make sure that the surface is very clean. This is one of the things that assures that the decal is going to affix itself completely to the surface of the glass. Now this should be ready, so I go into the water and and see how it slides around on the paper. It's ready. Now, a trick that I like to use is I like to wet the surface of the glass before I transfer the decal to it. And the reason for that is it allows you, see I just slipped the paper out from there, but it allows you to move the decal around and position it exactly where you want it, as long as it's got water underneath it. See how easy that is to move around like that? So I like to kind of bend some of the stuff around the glass to give it a little character and depth. So I'm going to bring this glass way down like that. Now that looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's centered well. So what I do then is I hold it in place, and then from center to out, I'll squeegee and kind of hold it on the sides to kind of wick the water out from underneath it. You want to then, once it's in place, kind of hold it with the other hand and just kind of roll from inside out till you get all the water out from underneath it. That's the main thing. You don't want to have any bubbles, any water, and you want to spend a little time doing this. Like, once I take it up and I just wrap it in this paper towel to get all the water out from underneath it. And once it's affixed, I'll spend a little time going from inside out like this, making sure that all the water is out from underneath it. If you live in a very damp climate, I suggest you let these dry for several hours. If you live in the desert like I do, about an hour is good, and they're ready to go. The next project is a Celtic design on a round blue dichro cabochon. The way I got the cabochon is you make 3 octagons with the dichroic blue on the bottom, and then you kind of stack them to where you're doing a 24 pointed star, bring it to a full fuse, and you get a round cabochon like that. So what we're going to end up with is this, and we do that with these round Celtic designs here. Now here is where it's important to cut these out very close to the actual design. And the reason you do that is because once this brown colored pigment, which holds all of the atomized gold that will be deposited on the piece, once that's on this glass, it's going to disappear. So your reference point is going to be the edge of the decal. So that's why I'm cutting it like a 32nd to a 16th of an inch from the actual decal itself. So there we go. You can see that's very closely trimmed to the edge of the decal. So we put that in the water, clean our cabochon. With the alcohol and the lint-free rag. And it shouldn't take too long for this to be ready. When it's able to slide off the paper, that's when you want to. It's already you can slide off the paper. Now you don't want to leave these in the water too long, or they'll soak off and start floating around. If that happens, like this, you grab the paper and you come up underneath the decal and you pull it out like that. So all's not lost if it does soak off the paper. So once again, we use the back of the decal to get the surface of the glass wet. We start it and we hold it down, and you can see how that design disappears on there. So what we have to do is get the edge of the decal right where we want it, so we can move it around so it's positioned just right. Then we hold it down, take our paper towel, kind of wick the water out from underneath it while pressing the edges down, inside to out, We just keep going around like that. Making sure all the edges are down and all the water is out from underneath it. If you leave any water underneath it at all, when you go to fuse them, it'll steam the decal off and it won't transfer at all. You'll just have a big blank spot there where your design was supposed to be. So that's project 2, ready to go into the kiln.